Stop you alone.
Hey YouTube, it's Randy. So our visit at Hanger Clinic was good on Wednesday, and very helpful people there, very knowledgeable, very good at what they do, really good feeling about them. But what I would like to rant about, I'm gonna rant here for a bit, is that the cost of a prosthetic and the process in which they go through in terms of figuring out whether or not to give you a certain type of prosthetic or prosthesis, which is the same thing. But so the guy went over costs, and I was utterly shocked to find out that it was going to be, $15,000, and that's retail price. That's before insurance. However, so we're paying for a polymer piece, so to speak, that sits like this. It's called the rush foot. You can look it up. Two polymer pieces that sit in, so to speak, and it just you just step on it and it bounces back. And so you're looking at the cost of that, and then basically a metal device that hooks onto it, a metal pole. We'll know more later, and then also you got the socket. So that all in all is going to be $15,000, and $15,000. I can buy too many cars with that. I can put a very nice down payment on a house. I can do a lot of things with $15,000. And what utterly makes me very upset about everything is that not a lot of people out there have $15,000. Period. I mean, I don't have $15,000 to basically lop out there and just call it a day. So we have a K grade scale, which I was talking to you guys about before, and it goes from 0 to 4. 0 being, the least able-bodied person, to all the way up to a 4 to the point where you're going to do windsurfing, jogging, what have you with the foot, and you're basically going to take it to a whole new level with it. And so these people sit down and basically grade you, so to speak, and see. So you got a physical therapist that grades you, and you have a prosthesis person that grades you. So now that person, including me, has this grade process, and they're going to sit here and tell me what I'm going to be able to do for the rest of my life. And what utterly just blows my mind is that, so we as a society are sitting down and basically grading people on a scale from 0 to 4 on basically how much we assume that we're going to be able to use this prosthesis part or prosthetic, and what we're going to be able to do in the next coming years. And that to me is, they're there for a reason. Don't get me wrong. We have it there for insurance companies, so therefore, obviously a 70-year-old isn't getting a running foot or a running blade and is not going to be conquering the world with it. I get that. But so the complaint that I have is that so a normal person that grows up and has 2 feet, right? They can go out and do whatever they want because they weren't born with a disability. They didn't get in a sudden car accident. They lead a normal life, and they don't have to worry about that expense. However, if you have an illness, you have a tragedy that happens, you have a birth defect when you grown up, and now all of a sudden something happens and now you have to pay for this amount. You don't have to. You can live in a wheelchair for the rest of your life. But if you want to walk somewhat normal or live your life normally, you have to basically abide by these rules, and you have to be utterly rich in the order for it to happen, just to get up and go do what you want on a day-to-day basis. And that to me is utterly unacceptable. Because we're a human race. We're born with two. Some of us are born with, 2 legs, 2 arms, and then a lot of people are fortunate enough to keep those towards the end of their life. And however, there's people where it doesn't happen. The people that get in car accidents, the people that have the birth defects, the people that have unforeseen events that happen to them, and now they're faced with this and they're not able to afford it. So now they have to live their life limited because they just don't have the money to spend it. And that to me in humanity is just it's not acceptable. We shouldn't have to put a price tag on our quality of life. And just to walk, just to get up and move. I can't imagine someone with, a set of hands that can't do anything because they're not able to freaking afford it. That to me, we're not doing enough for each other in terms of developing the right technologies. And I can only hope that 3D technology takes off and we're able to scan limbs and be able to 3D print stuff and go from there. But the way we're doing it now is we're doing the best we can with what we have, but it's completely unacceptable. I know there's a couple companies in terms of DuPont, and I watched a TED Talks where a lady was talking about trying to get the cost of a prosthetic down to $80, and that to me is awesome. We shouldn't have to pay a lot of money for what was a God-given right to us in terms of being able to walk or being able to pick up something or being able to run with our kids again. Just because something happened that we had no freaking control over. That just utterly, that blows my mind. I'm sorry. So I had to rant. I'm sorry. But everything else is going good. I went zipline. It's Saturday now. Saturday, September 24th, and I think it's 18 days before the amputation. And I went ziplining. Utterly fun. You guys should try it sometime. And I'm enjoying the time of whatever I have left with my foot. But if I have anything in my power in terms of what I can do, the reason why I'm doing these videos is trying to help people, and whatever I can do to help out, I'll do it, because there's so much that is getting overlooked in what people aren't doing. And unfortunately, I'm now going through this and I now see what people are upset about, and unfortunately it takes that to happen for someone to go, you know what, we have a problem here. And I just hope we can turn it around and make it cheaper and able for people in order to just get out of freaking bed every morning and just go and do the things they want to do. If they have a family, to be able to take care of them, to be able to do what they're supposed to do and not be freaking limited. So I'm gonna have some footage here about the ziplining and what have you. You guys should do it. It's fun. That's what I plan on doing after I have this my amputation surgery, what have you. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. As always, subscribe, and by any means, next time we'll see you guys. Thanks for watching.